So number one, goes without saying, have a plan of action. So a plan of action can just be your who, what, where, why, hows, and a quick SWOT analysis. And it can just be pros and cons, benefits, bullet points, whatever works for you, but have a plan of action, because that plan of action is what will make you keep going, and also how you can help market your business, because the more information that you have collected and the more ideas and the clarity you have, the more you speak with conviction. So plan of action is super necessary. So first and foremost, get that down. So because when you have a plan of action, you know which route to take, you know which direction to go to, right? So that kind of leads us to the next one is, once you've figured out the plan of action and you've written it down, you need to do some probably new hires, maybe somebody who's a launch expert, somebody who can really help gather all of that information and put it in one spot. So if you are having new hires during that time, there's two things that you really want to look at. One is vet them out. Make sure they are what they say they are. Make sure you've seen their work, seen some type of even testimonials about them or references about them, because it can really burn you during a launch time. I speak from personal experience. It is terrible when somebody either A, exits during launch time, or B, does it so badly because they say they know stuff, but the reality is they don't know it. And it's unfortunate because it truly hurts their reputation, but in the meantime, it's also hurting your business. So have a plan of action, know the kind of people you need to hire, if you need to hire new ones, or know that what your existing team members can do, and let them know, hey, this is launch time. I expect everybody to be on board during that time, because if you're not, or if you're gonna say I can't do it, it's gonna hurt, again, you more than them just exiting at that time. So have that clarity between your team members also. And if you are hiring somebody new, again, vet them out. And another thing that you want is a contract with them. Just because launch time is a short period of time usually, and you're like, oh man, why do I need a contract? But you do. You absolutely need a contract, so you know what your deliverables are. You also know what money that you are going to be giving them. You also know what the expectations are. So they know your expectations, they know your timelines and deadlines, and they can actually input that into the calendar and know how important launch time is. Number 3, are your platforms ready to go? And so what that means is, what different platforms are you using for marketing, or what platforms are you using to organize your launch? Whatever that launch is, are you using something like Dubsado, or are you using something like just a simple Trello or something else? What are you using, and are they ready to go? I'm not saying get them ready to go all the time, because there are times when things are just imperfect, and that's okay too. But what you really want to ensure is the legal behind it. So for example, if you are going to be sending text messages out to your new people that are signing up, or the people that are signing up for your launches, and you're sending out text messages, have a form or something online that they're agreeing to those text messages and they are happy to receive them. Because that way what you're doing is, one, you're getting permission to send them text messages and marketing, but you're also getting permission to get their information, which is personal information, which I'm going to go into later on about the privacy part of this as well. But you're taking that extra step because it is protecting you and it's protecting them as well. And so that kind of takes me to the privacy information, number 4. Privacy information is very important because all the states have their own privacy laws. And as we are going through time, the privacy is becoming more stricter. The way you're handling people's personal information that is given out to public like that, the strictness of it is being more enforced. There's different privacy requirements. And so you want to make sure that you are complying with probably one of the most strictest ones, because that way you're kind of complying with all of them then, right? And so the rule of thumb is go to the most strict one, especially in the country that you're in. And so that way you are complying with most of them then, right? Privacy policy kind of leads me into the terms and conditions. And so again, if there's changes in what you are doing with this launch, if there's changes in the way your refund or exchange policy is, or any disclaimers or disclosures that you might have, or even in general about intellectual property, any of these changes need to be reflected in your terms and conditions. And those changes are, again, very important to have in your terms and conditions, because especially if you're selling online, that terms and condition is essentially like a contract once they do a positive confirmation, meaning they are themselves confirming with a check mark and not an auto check for themselves. That way, you know that they are agreeing to your terms and conditions, and so you can always refer back to it if there is a problem and the terms and conditions actually addresses those issues, right? Now, number 6 is also probably one of the most important ones, and that is your contracts for your launch. Whether you include that information part of your terms and condition, or whether you need a new contract because it is a long-term relationship that you're establishing with your clients because of the launch, you need to have that contract. Now, whether that is automated online or whether that is something that is a supplement to your terms and condition, and then this is like, hey, here's another contract, or it could be a contract that kind of regurgitates your terms and conditions from your website, but then also adds on some extra clauses because of the nature of this new relationship and the launch, then that's what you need to do. But don't forget the contract with your new clients and the new audience, or even existing clients that you might have, but don't forget the contracts with them, because that is probably one of the most important and also one of the most overlooked things that we do when we have a new launch.